Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Eric Steinbacher, and this is going to be my unboxing of Townsfolk Tussle. Now, this is my first video ever. Kind of. I have attempted to film this. This is my third time now, so this can tell you how much of a non-YouTube person I am. The first time I filmed it was mirrored, so that was cool. Second time, when you are not a YouTube person, you can't have videos that are longer than 15 minutes. So it ended up being like 19 minutes or something like that. But anyway, so I decided to do this because I have never been this excited for a game. And so I thought, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna share my excitement with everybody because I think it's pretty awesome and I am so excited to delve into this game. So it is not shrink wrapped. There are certain things that are punched and things like that, but I can show a little bit of what we're doing. Here we go. Cover. It's shown a couple times. Got all the artwork on the outside of the box, the different ruffians and townsfolk and things like that. All right, so what we have is these are the miniatures in here. I'm going to get to them in a little bit, but I wanted to show the game tray is pretty solid, but it's got the cool, you can see the Townsfolk Tussle logo or title on the cover of the game tray, which is pretty awesome. And this is also something I thought was very cool. They have the standees, which is cool and fine. I'm going to use the miniatures, but what I like about these is that they have the backs of the characters as well, which is awesome for painting because a lot of times when you're going off painting, I am not a very good painter, and so when painting miniatures, you might have like a picture. Sometimes in the rule book there's pictures of the characters and things like that, but a lot of times it only shows the front or like the top half. So having a back reference for painting is cool. I mean, it's not bad just being able to kind of wing it and paint however you feel like on the back, but I think it's cool to have the back and be able to tell what the full art is when painting. Rulebook, pretty basic. This is a map of the Hose Lands. This is, I believe Eureka Springs is primarily where it takes place, but I know there's not exactly campaign elements to the game, but like unlockable stuff that as you defeat different ruffians and do certain achievements over the course of games, you can unlock more things, so maybe it kind of explores the map a little bit. I don't really know, so we'll find out. We have the game board here. Is a standard 4-fold game board. It's pretty large. The cool thing I like about, well, that I'm excited about for the game is, you can see down here it says terrain. There's different terrains that each ruffian slash boss, whatever you want to call it, deals with, but then each terrain has its own card and associated, like, what does it deal with? How do you interact with it and things like that? How do the ruffians interact with it? And then over here you have the sideboard that tells you buying order, beaten order. So there's two phases to the game, basically. It's a town phase and then a fight phase. Town phase is where you're going to like gear up and buy your stuff and things like that. And then the fighting phase is obviously the fight. There's 4 different fights that comprise one game, 4 different ruffians that you'll fight. Here we just have some random terrains. We have river pieces and the like. This thing, we got a garden, a barn, a pond. All these I'm sure are going to have all kinds of different interactions that go along with them and how the ruffians interact and all the townsfolk interact with them. Then there's the sideboard. This is, we have the town phase. There's going to be a shop that opens up. Here's the peddler down here. She's going to be the one selling you the stuff. And then the other side is the fight phase. It'll give you a breakdown of the ruffians and what they do and things like that. So that's just going to kind of be sideboard that extends the length of the board. Again, I've already punched this out. Normally this would all, I think it came on like 6 punch boards or something like that. Here's a little game tray for the coins, 1, 5, and 10 coins. And there's a little side thing for, I think it's a ruffian interaction mechanism right there. So yeah, the reason that this game got me so excited is just the artwork and the aesthetic of it is, it's unbelievable. Like, you see so many different, the classic fantasy, which I love, and space themes and things like this, but just busting out this cool 1920s and then just elevating it to like the the 5th level is just, it's awesome. So I think maybe now I'm gonna do the character boards and associated miniatures. I did a little something with the miniature, the tray. What I decided to do, since you're going to be fighting 4 ruffians in one game and having up to 4 characters, I thought, it may or may not be super easy to tell which characters go where in the box. It probably wouldn't be a big deal with only 4, but I decided to label them on the bottom, and then in addition to that, I don't know if it'll show up on here or not. Oh, hello. Probably not. Merry Christmas. Yep, there we go. I don't know if you can see it in there, but I just use a Sharpie to label the inside of the tray, so you can see easily which one goes where. I didn't have one of those cool like marker Sharpie pens, so I just used a red Sharpie. So it is what it is. More just little terrains, picnic blankets, beehives, summoning circle or something. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Anyway, so Yancey Plover. He's a smith of some kind. The cool thing about every character is that they have, on the back, they all have a bio or kind of a little backstory, which will be awesome to kind of read and get into a little bit of the strange lore of this world. And then everyone has health, movement, moxie, and accuracy, which are just base starting stats, and then those go along with different mechanisms of the game will affect those stats, and you can get equipment and things like that will affect the stats. Each character can have head, chest, leg, right, left hand, and accessory, and then there's also special items that give you different abilities that don't necessarily take up an item slot. They also have 2 abilities. I think most of the abilities have one of the abilities for the town phase, one of the abilities more for the fight phase. I haven't looked into it a ton, so I don't know if that's for surely guaranteed. I think I'm going into shadow sometimes, so sorry about that. Yeah, so this is Henlo Bulwark. This is a chicken. So I'm very excited to get into the the characters here, like Georgie Irongut, which looks to be some kind of dead goat that has a sentient stomach or something like that. These are the kind of things that I think in this game are absolutely phenomenal and ridiculous, and one of the reasons that I am so excited to delve into this game more, because I just think it's fantastic. The other thing I like about Blopsy Twins, the other thing I like about these miniatures is the colors and just the features on them are very exaggerated. And so when painting, like, I am not a great painter. I'm not a great artist, but I do like painting my games. I think it's fun. It's relaxing. It's cool. And kind of like Marvel United, where you have the bigger features on characters, it makes it easier to paint. You don't have all the tiny little details. Norman Fishboy. So that can make painting a little bit easier, especially for people like me who don't have the most skill in it. Granny Melba, sweet old tatted up granny with a 6-shooter. You know, classic standard board game tropes. You know, awesome. And then Quintus Binch, the old rapscallion, the scout scamp, wielding his trusty old baseball bat. So, all right, so that's the townsfolk part of Townsfolk Tussle, and they're going to be fighting the ruffians, which are the bosses. And I'm probably going to have to pick up the pace because I'm at 10 minutes. Penny Pinchetti, some kind of lockbox, maybe? I don't know. Cool. We got Hansy the Wonder Hamster. Kind of like almost like a peacock ostrich type deal. That's fun. Lawman Dozy, big old beast of a fella. It's pretty cool. We got Pepin Milk Frog. It's like you can just see, you know, compared to the Lawman, like this is like a very skinny legged weird character. Cool thing about these miniatures also is that they all have some kind of base terrain and elements, the bundits, which is nice because that's also fun for painting instead of having just a basic bland Deputy Wiggum's bland base that's just gray or black or whatever base color you decide to paint it. Nice, another 6-shooter Doge of Death. King and Queen, conjoined twins, or sewn together, or I don't know, we'll find out when we find out, I guess. Bordovis. Umbrella, the strange umbrella character. That is very cool and unique. Unique is definitely the word of the day for this game. Got the Samuel Strawman, Murderous Scarecrow, Wizard of Odds meets Stephen King or something like that. Will Barlow, you know, the sentient wheelbarrow, another thing that you see in every other board game. So, you know, they just throw that in there for fun. And Virginia Fitz is the final one. And then they all have, there's different final fight details, the setup for the board, their base stats and hit points based on character level and things like that. So yeah, so that's basically the miniatures. There is dice, just regular standard 10-sided dice that have, here's your crit marker there on your 10. There's a crit mechanic in the game. And then we have the box of cards. Again, I've kind of already undid all the cards. I think there's like 5 packs of cards or something. So I just kind of have it all organized here. There's the different starting gear, the that's the ruffian gear, so things you can earn off the bosses. You have unique gear, probably unlockable stuff. Peddler gear, that's the things you can get at the shop. And so yeah, a little bit about the game. They have these tokens here, which are your ruffian tokens. They have the name and the question mark. These get randomized in the beginning of the game, and you choose 4 of them, line them up face down, and those are going to be the four ruffians that you face in the game, and you fight them from top to bottom, and then they get progressively more difficult as you get towards the final fight, which always has some kind of, each ruffian has a final fight mechanic that is different and makes the game more challenging and interesting. So anyway, this is, again, my 3rd attempt at this. It may never see the light of day, but I appreciate if you do end up watching, and thank you very much, and hopefully you have a wonderful time, a wonderful gaming experience, and hopefully you can enjoy this as much as I plan to. I may or may not do a review with painted miniatures or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, peace, love. Have a great one.